Before I display the presentation, whatever I have made, it's a textual. It is in textual mode. Whatever be the thing, let me uh, have some idea from you all. What do you mean about climate change? Why it is called a disaster? Whether it is a disaster or not? Why it is a disaster? And if it is at all a disaster, what kind of impact it is going to have on mankind, on animal world, as well as on the environment, and how we can combat it. Okay, so this is in full. We are going to discuss in today's session, and the important topics we'll be covering under this are uh, heat waves, cold waves, then climate change, sea level rising sea level, and ozone layer depletion. Okay. Now, this is these are the main topics we will be discussing today. But just I want to have some idea from all of you. What do you understand by heat wave, cold wave? What are the impacts that the living world have out of this? And why do we consider them as disaster? Uh, do we actually consider them as disaster? Yes, you tell me first. Yes or no?
Yes, of course.
Of course. Okay. Now, what type of disaster is this? What type of disaster is this? How many types of disasters you have heard in your last
There are
classes?
two. We heard of
There
two.
are two,
Yes,
two,
man-made.
two,
Yeah, man-made,
and
man-made disaster
uh,
and
and
Man-made
natural.
disaster and natural disaster.
natural disaster. Okay, good.
Yes.
So, what type of disaster are these? The whatever I have mentioned today. What type of disasters are these?
Those, those are natural disasters.
These are natural disasters.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Are you referring
but
to the Valencia and the earthquake? Yeah.
No.
Are you
no,
referring
no,
to
no,
those ones?
no, no, no. I am
Oh,
just talking about. I am just talking about heat wave, cold wave. You remember Adamu last class also. You were just sharing that Africa has good threat on climate change. You remember?
yes, ma.
But this
Yes. So today's
Hello,
topic will be on that. Yes. Hello.
Okay.
hello, hello,
Now.
ladies, hello, teacher.
Hello.
Yeah, today
Now
is
tell
there.
me.
Is there any lesson on the screen today? What's topic?
You cannot. You cannot see me. What is the problem?
I
He was
haven't
saying he
seen
cannot see
any
the
screen.
screen, the slide on the screen. I think the class is not properly
Yeah,
start, right?
She did not
Class
start
has started.
sharing.
I have not
She,
started
she,
sharing, dear. First of all, and secondly, I am repeating again. I am not going to share any PPT because I have not prepared any PPT at all because I was not well. But we will be discussing everything in detail in today's class. Whatever I'll be sharing today, it will be in a text form. It is a raw material, but most importantly, the thing is that I am we will be discussing on these topics, their impacts, how it is affecting the African continent, the living world in particular. Okay, so main thing is understanding. PPT is a secondary issue. We'll get it later. So now tell me, come to the main important point. What type of disasters are this? Heat wave, cold wave, then your uh, sea level rise, then ozone layer depletion, climate change, etc., etc. What type of depression?
It can be both a man-made disaster and a natural disaster.
These are all natural disasters. Okay, first point is
It's a
clear.
natural.
Yes, Tombe,
It's a
Tombe, what
natural.
happened?
Yeah,
It
it's
is
a
natural,
natural.
right? It is
It's a
natural.
natural
Okay.
disaster.
Yes. Now, second point. What is uh, what is affecting all these factors? Why these things have been counted as natural disasters? Why we have started counting these factors as natural disasters? Could you get my question?
Yeah, I got it clear.
Yes,
They
ma'am.
are
Now,
regarded.
now,
I think I should
good.
respond to this.
Yes, sure,
They,
Tombe.
yes, they are regarded to me as a natural disaster because of the phenomena that happens.
Nee, you're not getting
Um,
my point. Yes, Adamu?
yes, we term them natural disaster because human beings we don't have control over how the earth's movement is. We cannot stop it, and we cannot alter it. So it is natural, and because we don't have control over those phenomena, we cannot modify them. That is why they are natural.
No, dear. Adamu, we will learn later. We can control it. We will
Okay.
learn it. Ha, ha. We can control it. And we actually have to control it. And let me mention, because of our interference, because of our human activities, these have become a very important issue nowadays. Okay, major disasters as of now we have learned is that under natural disasters where earthquake, avalanche, volcanic eruptions, then flood, etc., etc. But nowadays these are all very slow. These are all natural disasters which are of very slow pace. They are taking they are taking long period of time to develop, but the impact which they are making is also very severe, and these impacts are also long lasting. And why they are called disasters? Because of their impact, long lasting impact, which is actually affecting the living world. Here living world means uh, human, animals, and the environment. These these factors are affecting these um, three world in such a way that the world has started changing. The world has started changing, and that is why they are called natural disasters. And we, the common people, we cannot cope up with the existing scenario, and it is degrading day by day and affecting us. So we are now opting various ways so that we can build up better to rejuvenate the loss, and we can live a good life. Okay? Environment free life. Okay? Now, this was all the gist. Now, I'm just uploading that presentation, raw presentation, for all your reference, and we will now discuss. Okay? Shall I start then?
Yes.
Yes, we can
Thank
start.
you. Thank you. Now, heat and cold waves. This is very raw material. I've just made the extractions for your for discussion. Now, heat and cold waves. What do you mean by heat wave, and what is a cold wave called? Just from your general knowledge, I want to know. It is a purely discussion session. Can you see the presentation? Can you see the text?
Yes, we can see. We are seeing it.
Okay, okay, thank you. Now just tell me what are heat waves and what are cold waves? What is your idea about this?
Hello, Ma.
Yes, hello. Please say.
From my understanding, heat waves are temperature conditions which they cause the atmosphere to be more uh, um, unfriendly in such a way that it becomes the atmosphere becomes more hot than the normal temperatures, and this causes like bushfires, which destroys the environment and also destroys the ozone layer, which at the end of the day it affects human life because it affects everything.
No, dear George. Yes, you are right, but you have mentioned all this in
Uh,
a broad sense. Let us
yes.
split it into part. Okay,
I see.
because this is a gross thing, but let us split it into parts. Huh?
Mhm.
Firstly, what is some in
Okay.
summers? In some yes,
The heat waves can simply be
huh,
defined as a period of excessive heat, just like the wind of Hamatan blow. It's also the period where there will be excessive hot and the weather will be extremely hot. People will be exhausted and people will be sweating and people will be having hyperthermia in excess. It's due to a weather
huh,
change.
yes. This is good. And very specifically, what we say there, uh, meteorologists have defined on the depending upon the train, they have set average temperature in during summer and average temperature during winter days. Okay, say for example, 30 degrees centigrade is the average temperature during summer in Africa. Okay, now if on a particular day the temperature rises to 42 degrees Celsius, what will happen? Can you hear me all? Suppose the average temperature, what is the average temperature in Africa? Summer days? Tell me.
Average temperature is to
Average temperature? Maximum?
It's
maximum
36 to
36 37.
37.5. That is
30,
average.
35, 36, right? 35,
Some
36 degree.
sometimes to reach 37.
Sometimes I'm talking about take one figure now. One average you have to take. You just you just say whether you take 36, whether you or you take 39, whatever you fix it to one. Now
Yes.
just suppose it is 36 degrees Celsius.
Yeah,
The average maximum average temperature of African countries, many of the countries in African continent is having is 37 degrees Celsius. Now, it is found that on one sunny morning, it was one, just mark my word, it was, I told morning, I didn't say in the noon, sunny morning, the, it is found that the maximum, the temperature rose to 45 degrees Celsius. Okay, what will you say? It is a hot day? Will you not say that? Won't you say that? It is a hot day. If the day temperature is if the temperature of the particular day in the morning rises to 42 degrees centigrade. Won't you say it is hot day?
It is.
It is a hot day.
Yeah, it is a
Yes.
hot.
Now, so what is the concept of hot day? So when the temperature rises considerably above the average maximum temperature. Now, if this thing prevails for certain time, say 10 days, 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, continuously, we say, and along with that wave, means hot wave is also blowing. We say it is a hot, this condition is of heat wave condition. Okay. Now the same thing when the temperature falls considerably lower than the minimum temperature during the winter morning, we call it cold day, and the prevail, if it continues to prevail for certain time, because cold wave is flowing. So what is the reason behind this heat wave or cold wave, and where do we find this? Maximum time we find this in extratropical countries. Now, India, where I stay, is in extratropical. It is a extratropical country. Africa, where you people are residing, is also an extratropical country. Okay, so both our countries are suffering from heat waves and cold waves. Now, what is the reason behind this? What might be the reason behind this? Have you ever seen the Earth, the tropics,
Yes,
the
ma.
tropical land, the equator, the tropical line?
Yes, ma.
So you just consider the when it when the Earth moves and comes in close contact with the sun, and the sun rays falls directly on the tropics, it gives rise to the hot day.
Sorry, ma'am. Excuse me. The slides are not that readable. The fonts are too small for the readers to even get access to what is going on in the slide.
You can zoom it from your screen. It is a Microsoft Word. It's not a slide, so you just zoom it from your screen.
All right, Adamu. Thanks.
It is now disappear.
I think she's doing it again. She might have. Sarbani, are you there? Are you going to present it again?
She left.
Yeah, she'll
Maybe for
join.
some reason.
Maybe she
Yeah.
have network problem. We'll give her some
Mm,
minutes.
We need
exactly.
to
Yeah,
give
yeah.
we
Wait
need
for
to
a
give
minute.
some time, huh?
Yes, we need to give her some. It may be a network problem.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Adam.
it is a problem. She might be when you ask for the greater fonts, so she might be doing that. And between she left by mistake. She'll join in a minute, I think. Okay, I'm leaving and I'll calling her. You please wait
For
till
sure.
then.
Okay, Dr. Smart, you will be waiting also.
We'll just be waiting. No worry.
That
Hello?
is all right.
Oh my. It was connectivity loss. Loss of connectivity from my end. I'm sorry. I'm uploading the slide again.
No problem. You're welcome, ma'am.
Yes, it was from my end. I'm so sorry.
Cool.
Okay. One second, Dr. Smriti is calling me. Hello.
Hello,
There was some
Sharbani?
network issue. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. You're
Uh-huh.
joining again?
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Now the site for this presentation is very small. Can you increase the site so that it can be readable from our side here?
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I think you can
Okay,
zoom
sorry
it
for the
from your
interruption.
screen.
Yes.
You understand? Under there, you can see like angles. Click on each and you zoom it from your own screen.
Yeah, you as Adamu said, you can zoom it.
Yes, you can zoom it to your own convenience.
Yeah.
Well
If you
said,
zoom
Adam.
it, it will appear clear. You zoom
Yes,
just.
yes. We got
If
that.
you
We got
zoom,
All
that.
right.
if you zoom it, you can see it
That is,
clearly.
Who will
that is
zoom?
okay.
Me or you people?
From
We
our
people,
side.
we are the one that
You,
will zoom
you.
it.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, you can zoom it from our side.
Say something.
Regarding to
Yes,
those
ma'am.
who are complaining of the fonts, that's what Adam is
One
clearly
more.
saying.
Yes.
If you are using Android phone or something, you can zoom it.
One more idea is there. You can pin Sarbani,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
you'll see the presentation only. You need to pin that. You can see the pin mark over there. If you pin that, you'll be seeing only presentation, and then you can easily zoom it as well.
Yes, that is right.
All right, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
I'll see if I can do this.
You don't need to do that.
Acha.
Doctor. Yeah,
Acha,
you
you
don't
are
need to.
asking the participants to
I'm
do this.
thinking for
Okay.
others.
Okay, okay, okay. Sorry, sorry. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
So
Very
let us
nice.
go.
Counseling is going on. So best wishes. I'm
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm leaving right now.
Yes, ma'am. Sure. So, now what I asked you last time is the health impact of heat waves on health. What do you feel when during scorchy sun? What are the common uh, disturbances that affects you? Say, anyone come up?
One is sweating.
Sweating. Good. This is the first thing.
Yeah.
Sweat. Then we
Then
become fatigue. Uh,
for livestock, definitely they will be panting. Huh?
yes. Even we
Yes.
also pant.
There will be increased body temperature, hypothermia,
Yes.
and which will lead to exhaustion, what we call heat exhaustion,
Yes. Heat
and
exhaustion.
that
Right.
heat exhaustion, yes, and which will adversely may lead to shock.
Yes.
Hello, ma'am.
And there will be dehydration, also severe one, because of excessive sweating.
Yes. Chances
And
of faint can is also there. Headache, nausea, vomiting, muscle
yes,
cramps. Right. Uh,
hallucinations.
hallucinations. Yes. And a type of psychological setback also we face. Na, we don't feel like doing any work. We feel like resting always. So these are the things we find during heat waves. And so in the medical term they are known as heat cramps, heat exhaustion, heat stroke is very easy one. Now what is important part is the preparedness. Even tomorrow also we are going to discuss all these things. Preparedness. What is preparedness? When will you start preparedness? These are the two questions. You first say, what is preparedness? What is preparedness in case of
Preparedness simply means um, forecasting something that is going to happen, and you make plans to either mitigate it, prevent it, or reduce the impact. by putting some
Definitely,
measures in place.
definitely. See, can we ever stop heat waves to blow?
Yes,
Can
we can't.
we can stop?
We can stop it by afforestation and
Ha,
plantations.
definitely. We can stop it by afforestation, but it is a longer process when
Yes,
already the temperature has shoot up from the average temperature. What is the primary action? The action starts from meteorological department, who is constantly looking into this temperature, rainfall, and all these things. Tombe, can I please request you to mute your mic because from there, uh, not from Tombe. Yes, yes, from Tombe. Uh, I can hear the sound of blowing winds.
It is
Anyways,
now okay.
it is okay. It is okay. Thank you. Now, it is the primary department responsibility of the meteorological department who is constantly watching on the rise and fall of temperature, rainfall, everything. So they are going to issue one warning. Okay, that this is the average temperature, and as the trend shows, it is rising up, and by this within 2 days, if it does not rain, the temperature will shoot farther up, and people may suffer from heat waves. This type of warning meteorological department is going to issue. Now, now comes the responsibility of the administrative authorities like the state government, the disaster management departments. They will listening to this type of warnings from the authorized department. They will start IEC. What is IEC? I for information, E for education, and C for communication. Am I too fast for all of you, or it is okay?
it is okay, doctor.
It's okay.
Okay,
It's
okay.
okay.
Thank you so much. Now, IEC, information, education, and communication. What is this basically? It is creating of awareness, generating awareness among people, among common men, that now the temperature is going up and you should cover yourself. You should not come out of the how of your houses unnecessarily, and you should stay back home. You should take maximum water or fluid intake. You have to rise your fluid intake so that you don't suffer from dehydration and all. And these are the things through IEC we can convey to each and every people, means we can aware the community about the prevailing waves. Okay, now IEC is done through social media. It may be TV, radio, internet, and man to man we can convey through papers, newspapers. We have to issue advisory to the schools so that they can uh, give holidays to the school going children, because the main threat we all learn, we will be learning in the preparedness part also, or response part. We have to be very careful about our vulnerable group. Who are the vulnerable group? Who falls in this vulnerable group?
The young and the elderly, right?
Elderly and
And the
Then
younger one.
also, poor people, people that are living in the fringes of society, basically. They can be
no,
young, or they can be, yeah.
no, no, dear. Vulnerable group in case of disaster is only, they
Women
only
and
consist
children
of women. Yes, very good. Women,
and children
children,
handicapped or
children, physically disabled. We don't call them
physically
handicapped
sorry,
anymore.
physically
We call,
disabled. Sorry,
yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
We call them
physically
can
disabled.
also
physically,
include the elderly.
uh, physically and mentally disabled or able, and the geriatric people means the elderly or one. Okay. Okay, so we have to give advisory to the school-going children for this, and we have to be very careful about the pregnant ladies and the lactating mothers too.
Yes. Then how about the ill health? The ill health people of low immunity. Are
Yes,
they not so? Are they not? Yeah.
uh, Joseph, they don't come under
Yeah.
vulnerable group. They, the sick people, the poor people, we have to be very careful about them. But they does not come under the vulnerable group. Okay.
Okay.
Now this is about human we are talking about. We have to be very careful about our livestock too, because livestock they cannot speak, they cannot share their troubles, but their activities we have to understand. We have to make proper shade for them. We have to cover their shades so that heat doesn't could not enter area those areas. We have to provide them with coolers and all, and yes, cooler, air cooler or air condition. Air condition we usually don't provide to the livestock, but air cooler we can definitely provide, or fanning. Uh, we can give them fanning, or provision of water, then fodder, availability of fodder. This we have to be very careful, and we have to be very very careful about the pregnant animals as well. Okay, or the lactating animals as well. Now about the crops, we have seen during heat waves and all, heat waves and all, we find drying up of leaves. George, you are not allowing anyone to enter. You want to say something, George? You have raised your hand.
Us. Yeah. I rose my hand when I had a suggestion that I think when we need to speak, let's raise a hand so that you can recognize. Unlike when we all come together, I think it brings some sort of confusion. So that was why I raised my hand.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, what about the um, what about the crops? Less availability of water, scorching sun, less availability of water from rain as well as from
Yeah, yeah,
groundwater.
yeah, you can mute. Hello, Yaya. You can mute, please.
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
You are distracting
what
the
happened?
class, please.
So, hello, ma.
Yes, yeah, yeah. What happened? Your baby
Ma,
is
nothing.
crying.
Okay.
Not.
Sorry, sorry for the interruption. Sorry.
It is okay, bit. It is okay. It's okay. Just mute
Okay.
and nothing. Listen to the class. Now, damage to crops, like crops may burn, crops may dry, less yield, non-availability of water from rain as well as from underground aquifers. This all leads to the disastrous situation. And finally, this may uh, give rise to a drought-like situation as well. Now, what are the emergency kits we usually uh, refer during heat waves? Water bottle, we all carry water bottle, hand towels, fan, umbrella, cap. These are the things. Rescue and relief, we all told here we have to uh, uh, live maximum under the shade, avoid working in the daylight and cover ourselves with full sleeves, shirts and full pants. Okay. Now, in case of stroke, which what will we do? These are all very simple things. I know you all know all of you know this, but it's okay. I'm just discussing. Tell me,
Okay.
what do you do in case of heat stroke?
O- Okay.
You are moving, and you
Yes.
find a person coming in front of you. He is suffering, and he is panting, and he is sat all of a sudden. Um, and what you, as a normal person, is your duty to save. What will you do as a normal person? What steps you will follow?
Oh, the first thing is that you will try to expose him. That is, if he is having heavy clothes, you reduce them, and
Yes,
you do what we call tape sponging. You can get a towel, soak it in the water, and dump it on his body to reduce the
yes,
body heatness through convection, radiation, and conduction. And you can fan him also and take him to a cooler place, maybe under the shade of tree or any room that is cold.
yes. Okay. So this is it was all right, and then we come to the cold wave part. Okay. Similarly, these things only happen in during cold waves. The temperature just falls. Morning temperature falls down the minimum temperature, and it gives rise to cold waves. Now, this is the hot wave over African continent. Can you see the graph? Can you see the graph?
Yes, we can see.
Yes, yes, we are seeing it.
Yes, see, I have tried to project it from 1910 to 2020. Okay. Now, this is a rising trend of temperature. Now, what happened as a result of this? What are the important factors we get out of this? African countries within 15 degrees of the equator are projected to experience an increase in frequency of heat waves. So I'm feared to hear this, that all of you are very much exposed to heat waves. Now, this is the heat wave exposure per year. Let me zoom this map for you all. See, this yellow part, these are the parts, this is the African part map. This yellow part shows extremely high temperature. Okay, this is the annual average frequency they have plotted since 2000 to 2020. This light green color area, these areas, it is high. Okay, medium high is dark part, these parts. Low medium, this one. Low, is there any low part? Only this one. So it's a very threatening condition, especially high we can find, high and medium high we can find in the maximum area, right? So in Central Africa, this part, am I there? I'm afraid whether I'm there or not. Sometimes.
Yes, we are getting you.
Okay.
Loud and clear,
Now in Central Africa, Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, the Republic of the Congo, and the coastal areas of northern Angola and DRC. Even here, it was a it was the threat of volcanic eruption. Remember this area, Congo? We heard this name last time also. Avalanche, then volcanic eruption. These also have cumulated the factor of high temperature, and coastal areas of northern Angola and DRC already see on an average 8 to 10 heat waves per year. Just see, each year 8 to 10 heat waves. This is too much. This yellow part we are talking about. And the green parts, they usually say sees 6 to 8 heat waves per year. But are you agree with me? You just tell me, because I have never been to Africa, and you are facing this problem. Are you agreed with the map I have projected? Is the data correct to the best information of yours?
Yeah, we agree. We agree. It looks clear.
So,
It
so
looks true.
it is really strong. It is really life threatening. In East Africa, Uganda, Ethiopia, and Kenya, the Atlantic coast of South Africa are also experiencing an increasing frequency of heat waves. See, if you can correlate heat waves with volcanic eruptions, with avalanche, eastern part of this is a Rift Valley area. Even I was teaching earthquake to the CDM students. There also I found East Rift Valley zone area, this Congo Basin and all. It is the most life-threatened area, and everything is centered over here. Right. So this part in East Africa, Uganda, Ethiopia, and Kenya, and the Atlantic coast of South Africa are also experiencing an increasing frequency of heat waves. Basically, I was just giving one example to you that 35 has rose to 42, but here an increase of 0.5 degrees centigrade in temperature can lead to a 150% increase in the number of heat waves. Just see the figure. A small increase of 0.5 degrees Celsius in the temperature, means from the average temperature, can kill more than 100 people, and it is actually increasing 150% of the number of usual trend of heat waves. So if last year you have found, as per this data, if in the last year you have found experienced 8 to 10 heat waves, then this year with an increase of 0.5 degrees centigrade you can experience 150% of 10 is 150% of 10 is how many heat waves you can experience? Let us calculate. 150% of 10 is what? 15. My God. 15 heat wave you can experience this year then. What? Agree with me? Adamo, George, Tombe,
Yes, ma.
Joseph,
We are all
agree
here.
with me?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
All
We're
with
here,
What
you.
did
man.
I say? You are not surprised. I am
We
surprised
are,
and you are not
we are,
surprised.
we are, we
We
are
are.
feeling
We are
sorry
used
for
to it.
ourselves.
Huh? All of you come to
It's,
India. How will you
Yeah, I'm going to
survive?
come there.
Yeah, we are used to,
It's
like
not
in
good
my
news.
side, sometimes we do have temperature of 47 degrees Celsius.
But 47 degrees Celsius, so I just told you, but just think an increase of only zero point 0.5 degrees centigrade can lead to an increase of 150% of the existing number of heat waves. So if last year you have experienced 10, 10 heat waves last year, then this year with an increase of zero point 0.5, it may rise to 15 heat waves. What will happen to people, the entire living world then?
Actually, some will die, some will survive with some complications, some will have those mild conditions.
It's, it is true,
Uh,
but don't be so reluctant,
and
Adamu.
and the
Yes,
other
sir.
thing, ma'am, is our crops
and
will be affected, which
and
means
also
even the harvest will be affected. People will not harvest more, so this will bring hunger in the countries, which is another, problem on top of another problem.
some of the animal may die.
It will
And
also
Definitely.
affect the sea level of the water.
I will
Sea
come to
level.
that part also. Acha, just
Oh.
tell me, uh,
might
you know,
it will affect animal. Some animal
definitely
species,
it is. See, it is.
some animal species.
Yes, it is going to happen. The livestock, especially the domestic animals, those who are
Yes.
exposed to sun rays. Huh? But the thing is that, can you just, from our discussion part, it came like this, that this is basically a projection. So those who are working in the environmental division or with WHO or some international NGOs like this can use this projection for the benefit of community.
Okay.
What you can do, uh, because when I just felt it like this. Had I been in your position, I would have worked it like this. Um, if this is the trend, then saving mankind, because when we are studying disaster management and we are aware of this situation, because all people are not aware of this situation. When people are when we are as learners of disaster management, we are aware, we are becoming aware of this threat. We can make arrangements. We can make IC stronger than the existing condition. We can we can uh, we can establish small units in various places, so that people, other passers-by, they are saved. We can announce for work from home or something like that, remote work for every people during, especially during summers, so that their work is also carried on and they don't come out of the house and go to the office regularly. We can arrange for a good tenure of summer holidays for the school going children. We can, what we can do, we can mm, save, we can stock food at a maximum level. We can cover the existing crops, the entire agricultural field we can cover with shades, so that the exposure of the exposure of the agricultural field uh, can be minimized to the scorching sun. And these are the steps we can opt for. What do you say? Do you agree with me?
Yes, we agree.
Yes, doctor.
So we can do like this, na? We can work like this.
You mentioned about working from home, but taking into consideration how Africa is in terms of connectivity, I think that can be a problem because um, not all parts of Africa were connected in terms of internet. So
Oh,
um, that can be another problem anyway. So, but those are things that we need to explore as alternatives or to the problem.
definitely, definitely. Then we can strengthen our telecommunication department for in this regard. We can extend their project to those remote places which are not covered under this telecommunication department, so that maximum areas can be connected through internet, and we can allow people in this extreme during this extreme time in particular to work from home and earn their livelihood. And even we can start for the pregnant ladies and lactating mothers we are talking about, and not only them, for the sick people also. We can start what? Mm, tele Telemedicine. Yes, right?
Yes, another
Telecount.
problem, doctor, is that apart from the connectivity, in this part of the world that we are living,
Uh,
most of our rural areas are not even electrically connected. That is with electricity. So even those parts that are connected to the national grid, there is serious
Definitely.
problem. You cannot have 24 hours power supply without interruption. So the power is epileptic in supply.
That too can be recovered through solar conversion of solar energy, utilizing solar energy.
Yes, but there is
It-
no political will for that in this part of the world that we are living. That those are the major constraints we are having.
so we can draft a plan where we can point out these things, means uh, strengthening telecommunication department, strengthening electricity department, opting solar energy as source of electricity. Then uh, then what? Uh, Minimizing consumption of mm, electricity we will do because of that sea level rise. There we will see we have to minimize utilization of fossil fuels and all. Let us come to that part. But there are ample scopes, because I am just discussing with this is not this is definitely related to our today's session, but and at the same time this is part of preparedness which descriptively we are supposed to study tomorrow. But the thing is that these are the important parts which people who are already amongst you, who are already in working in multinational companies or in the government or in the environmental department or in uh, yeah, international NGOs can take care of, because these are very, really very uh, thriving, threatening issues. Yes, Tommy, you want to say something?
Yes, I actually wanted to add some other few points on this
Yes, sir.
aspect of the innovation that you have been sharing with us.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally agreed with you that some of the few examples that you have given,
Mm.
especially in Africa also, nowadays, we are facing a great challenge when it comes to this extreme weather condition, the heat waves, and it is actually posing a bigger challenge. For example, in our country, I'm currently I'm towards the border of Ethiopia.
Okay.
For the last 3 days, I was actually facilitating some trainings here on natural resource management, and in this particular community, these are agro-pastoralists, and due to due to the issues of climatic changes in this area. It's actually really a challenge when it comes to this issue of the extreme heat. The area here, it is totally, let me say, around 40 to 30% of this total area. It is a mountainous area, and
Yes, sir.
coupled with that, this community are really, they are actually having this greatest effect here as a result of this. And I've picked you right. And yesterday we even interacted with them. They have given us some few recommendations on how best we can even support the community, how best we can come up with the concept on aspect of how some of these issues can be addressed. And I'm
Hmm.
also happy that it happens to come that you are able to give some of these innovative ideas on how this can be handled. I'm really happy for this, and
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Yes,
Mm.
you can add on this. Huh? And anybody, it is an open offer for all of you. Anybody want any ideas from me? I'm always there for all of you. You can access me through WhatsApp, phone, telephone, anything. We can share our thoughts. Okay, it will help both of us, right? So, going to the part of discussion, now comes our cold wave. But before we go to the cold wave, due to heat waves, what are the now we have seen this frequency, right? Now frequency. Now how it is going to affect people, number of people, and through what that we will be encountering here. Let me zoom it again. Natural disasters in sub-Saharan Africa. It is again from 1970 to 2020. See, this is the frequency. This is the frequency of the occurrences of various incidents like droughts, floods, epidemics, and storms. Okay, because of the various heat conditions and floods because of rainfall and all, drought as a result of um, scarcity of rainfall, at the same time availability of ground less availability of groundwater. Epidemics, it may rise both as a result of drought or as a result of flood and as a result of uh, no, here we are not going to share those avalanche and all those things. Here we are just talking about drought and flood. So epidemic is another threat. uh, and storms are the heavy winds, we call them storms. Now see the colors and their frequencies. Okay, now like in 2020 we have minimum drought. This is the blue color you can find. Maximum flood has been faced in 2020, and storms. We didn't get any epidemic. We got epidemics, small epidemics. Can you see my cursor over here, or shall I make this, or shall I zoom it more? Now, can you see it? See, this is the 2020 curve. Okay. Now this is drought, flood, epidemics, and storm. Okay. Now how this 2020 calamities affected human, that we are going to study here. Okay. Now come to this graph. See, this is the number of deaths. Okay, number of people affected. Blue and green. Blue for the drought and green for the flood. Okay. So because of epidemics, no deaths were there. and because of storm also no deaths were there. This is the death ratio. Because of drought it is blue here, see blue here, and see blue here. Drought may be of so it may take so massive form. Can you just can guess it from this graph? See, small tenure of time, small occurrence of drought, but it has actually affected the human like this, maximum death. And flood has not affected like this because you can you because of the early or burning or whatever, or trained personnel, or maximum evacuation which could be performed by the administrative help, people could be saved and the number of death has reduced to this much, and there is no incidence of epidemics. Anybody want me to explain this, or you have understood? You have understood? Shall we
Yes,
move to the?
we
You have
can move
understood?
forward, I think.
Thank you. Now, cold causes of cold wave. This is the cold wave map for Africa. What are the causes of cold wave? It is basically, see, if from higher altitude, because maximum we know our continent, means I'm talking here about Africa. Africa is uh, it is located uh, in the tropical region. Okay, it is located in the tropical region. Now, cold wave conditions occur during the winter months when the cold air mist from the high altitude sweeps over the region. So the we are facing the North Poles, right? So when uh, when a cold air mass from the polar region comes and strikes this area, the tropics, or the westerly wind flows in the along the mid latitudes, we experience cold wave. Okay. Now, in case of day to day, in case of day to day changes, what we find? We find foggy weather and all, uh, uh, followed by rain or snowfall, or what? Snowfall and foggy rains, and rainfall even. So strong radiation cooling during the night under the sky. These are all the factors. Now, looking into this map, what we find is that uh, cold waves actually generate here in this blue part. Okay, and most South African part actually gets this wet, cold, and windy condition. They experience this condition mostly. Anybody from North Africa here in this class? Then this system actually moves quickly, leaving behind an advection of the polar dry area. Then, as far as Angola and Zambia is concerned, anybody from Zambia or Angola? So from the it is actually 0 degree temperature. It is showing, it is a radiant IR image, means infrared image, which is showing basically uh, high temperature and flowing of the prevailing cold waves from eastern and south African area to Botswana, Namibia, and some spots over southern Angola and Zambia. Okay, even it is not only very cold morning, even there are high chances if weather uh, inhabitants from this area whether they can see sunrise also. মানে, it may also happen that they don't experience daylight as well during windy days or windy colder days. Now, what are the impacts of this? Same as heat stroke we have experienced during cold waves, we can experience cold strokes uh, during cold waves. In extratropical countries, considerable casualties due to low temperatures, shivering, then lowering of temperature, headache, uh, less appetite, then asthma, then respiratory troubles, uh, then your uh, in your body. Uh, all this may result in death, and people can even uh, experience chronic imbalance. This has devastating impacts on the livestock as well, and the industrial and the agricultural products, livestock and agricultural products also, because during cold waves also we find snowfall, blizzards, and all these things on the agricultural products, on the agricultural fields, and uh, the, all the entire field may be under stress. Okay, a condition of hypothermia. It can develop to not only to human body but also to animals as well. Now coming to climate change. Okay, what is climate change? What is climate change?
Climate change can simply means the change in the nature of the weather and the temperature of the environment, and probably the nature of the humidity and wind over a period of a long time.
Yeah, just to concur with my friend who just spoke, I understand climate change as a long-term shift in temperatures and weather patterns.
Yes. Yeah, to me, climate change, as they said, it is a swift changes that can disturb ecosystems that are existing. Hello. Hello. We
We
seem
can
to
hear
have
you,
lost.
Mr. Tombe. We can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah.
I'm not hearing anyone.
But
Hello?
we are hearing you, Mr. Tombe.
The issue is we lost the presenter.
Yeah, can anyone see or hear Dr. Sarabani?
Yeah, I think
No, we can't hear her.
Dr. Sabani can go ahead.
But I can neither see her nor hear her voice.
Yes, likewise here. You can only see the slideshow.
I think she have a network challenge.
Yes, let's give her a grace of minutes.
Give her some time. I think she should have network problems. But from my side, I can see the presentation. I can see her, but I can't hear her. So I think it's something to do with network problems.
Yeah.
So let's just give her some
Oh,
minutes.
okay. Yeah, I can see the slide also, but I cannot see her. But I can see you, George, and hear you.
Yeah, I'm seeing Dr. Sabani, and I'm seeing all of you as well, and the presentation too.
Can someone just go ahead with the definitions? So let's discuss between ourselves before we get her back here. I can see we have some people with some ideas like Adamu and George. Can any one of you just carry on?
Oh, I see. Um,
Listen, George.
yes,
George,
yes. Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
are you
Okay.
hearing me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah. I'm seeing Dr. Sabani. She's talking. I think one need to write something in the chat box, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that she knows that there is a problem.
Okay, fine. I can do that.
Yeah, you do that on behalf of us all.
Okay, cool. But colleagues, as we're waiting for Dr. I can see that climate change is a big problem in Africa, and we're in a time bomb. I think this is a very good, it's a very good time that we should be agents of change for the betterment of our continent. I think this is a good cause, and I'm happy that we're all here so that we can be leaders and be agents of change as far as climate change and environment disaster management is concerned. I don't know how you look at it as from that side.
Yes, as George have said, as we have seen that this climate change is a change in the weather and the temperature, and it's something that happens over a time. So that is mean there is some sign and symptoms before it could burst, and it is happening due to our own activity, due to our own doing, like deforestation. If we keep cutting all the trees around without replacing them, that would definitely
Now,
affect
am
the
I audible and
temperature.
visible to all of you?
Yeah, we are hearing you now,
Yes, yes.
Dr. Sabani.
You can see me?
Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
we
are
can
Yeah.
see
losing
you.
you. We
Thank
lost
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yes, but we cannot see the slide again.
Okay, I'm uploading it.
Okay.
All right.
Now, is it okay?
Yeah, loud and clear. We are hearing you
Great.
well now.
Great. Now, you tell me what is climate? What is climate? And sorry to disturb you, George. I admit with you. Yes, with a broader perspective, we must discuss. We must attend the class. We must understand uh, what are the effects of disasters, what are the various disasters, and how you can act as saviors for your nation, for your continent. I agree with all of you. Thank you. So let us discuss more on this. What is climate? Then we will come to the next part. What is climate change? So, what is climate?
Yes, I have to define this. Climate is a day-to-day weather change condition of an
No,
atmosphere.
no,
No, climate can simply be defined as the weather average to a specific location for a long period of time.
great. Tombe, what you say is weather.
Hmm?
You said whatever you said is weather. Weather.
Oh,
You defined weather. A day-to-day change, a diurnal change is referred to as weather.
weather.
When
Yeah, yeah,
this
right.
change is consistent for a consistent amount of time, for a longer period of time, we term it as climate.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the concept of temperature and sorry,
So,
concept of weather and climate is clear to all of you.
Yeah, yeah,
Now,
it is, ma'am.
okay, now we are coming to the part
as we
climate
can
change.
see, Anata was
So
changes in Article
when
2 by
there
now
is
associate.
it's very
So,
simple.
she needs some
When there is a
citations,
deviation,
referencing. Chapter 1, you are all culprits in that. So,
Adamu,
um,
what happened? Whom are you talking to?
sorry, doctor, I don't know my mic is on. Sorry.
Okay. So when there is a deviation in the prevailing climatic condition, we call it a climate change. When there is a change in the prevailing condition of the climate, we call it a climate change. Agreed?
Yes,
Okay.
we have agreed.
Now, no, now, next part is what makes this change to occur? Who are actually triggering these changes? Why these changes are occurring? The second question is why these changes are occurring.
I think mainly it's because of man-made causes.
Yes,
So the nature fights back when we fight the nature. So mainly it's because of man-made causes.
yes, right. So basically, human
Yes.
activities are triggering to this thing. Okay, now coming back to the text. Now, basically, climate change refers to a long-term shifts in temperature and weather patterns. So, with whatever we are not habituated with, we are facing that, and this change has occurred since years, has took place since years, and people are facing it, and uh, they are actually challenging this adverse situation, climatic condition. So these shifts may be natural or it may be due to human activities. What human activities actually are triggering? First is that burning of fossil fuels. It is the most important factor which is actually hampering which is actually affecting climate change. Burning of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels, you know what are fossil fuels? What are fossil fuels? Acha, first of all, tell me what are fossils?
They are
gases which are gotten when like a wood is burned and the rest or from vehicle use.
See, once upon a time, our earth has seen various animals, plants, which are no more into existence in the present day. Example, dinosaur. Do we find dinosaur now? No. So
No.
once
No.
upon a time, these animals, various plant species were there in this world due to various reasons. They are no more. They died. Where are the remnants of these dead animals or plants? Where are the remnants? They are trapped in soil. They are trapped in soil because of various geologic activities. It may be tectonic activity, it may be due to earthquake, it may be due to drift, it may be due to volcanic eruption, it may be due to mm, climate, prevailing climatic condition, non-availability of food, whatever be the thing, they are no more, and this is a dead dinosaur, and layers of soil trapped it underneath the ground. Clear? Now this has become our ground level, and here are the remnants. If you dig the soil, you can find their remnants in the form of ashes, in the form of uh, some chemicals which can mix with the soil. They are called fossils. Clear? Now these fossils are actually good source of oil, fuel. So we extract coal, petrol. They can also be extracted in the form of coal. So this coal, oil, we then actually we get this petroleum from the crude oil. Crude oil is also fossil, a type of fossil. So we get all this from these entrapped sources of uh, our earth. Okay, so when we are extracting it, it is actually giving rise to heat energy, and this heat energy is creating global warming, and as a result of global warming, everything is happening. Okay, whether it is a change in climate, whether it is heat wave, whether it is cold wave, everything is happening because of this cold wave. Even we are getting ozone depletion as a result of this, and sea level rise also because of this will come there also. Clear? Shall I proceed?
Yes, we are clear.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
can move forward.
Now, uh, so we know that Earth's climate is fundamentally controlled by its orbital parameters, the chemical composition of the atmosphere. Chemical composition in here we are talking about the uh, various gases which are available in the air, and the feedbacks within the components of the climatic system. Now, if there is a disbalance in this, see, in case of ozone depletion, what will we find? There is an increase in the content of ozone. Okay, so why is this increasing happen, and how it is affecting? There is a depletion in the ozone existing ozone layer because uh, Earth has its own uh, components. Earth has already has its own composition. if anything is hampering that composition, it is going to affect it. So, because of chemical composition of the atmosphere, geological changes, as I just told you, geological change means here we are talking about tectonic movements, earthquake, and all these things. Slow changes in the sun and earth geometry is taking place, and this is actually giving rise to climatic changes. What is global warming? When this heating, this rise in temperature is taking place in the entire world, all through the globe. It is we are calling it global warming. Now, what is the basic cause of global warming? Maximum concentration of carbon dioxide and other air pollutants in the atmosphere. Okay. See, Earth has a definite composition. Atmosphere has a definite composition. It will contain. We have already in our school days we have learned our Earth will contain this much of oxygen, this much of nitrogen oxide, this much of carbon dioxide, this much of inert gases. You remember that was the composition of atmosphere. Now, if there is a variation in that particular composition, then it is going to affect us, and we call that as global warming. So, if we go through the discussion part over here, global warming occurs when carbon dioxide, and other air pollutants collect in the atmosphere and absorb sunlight and solar radiation that have bounced off the Earth's surface. See, our Earth is getting sunlight from the sun. Now it absorbs it, and part of it is radiated back. When we are radiating back this part, carbon dioxide maximum, sorry, when it is going back, it is radiating back, and atmosphere is absorbing those. Atmosphere is already heavy with air pollutants and carbon dioxide and nitrogen oxide and all these things, and it is absorbing heat, radiant heat from the earth, and it is becoming warmer. Warm air, what happens to warm air? Warm air rises up. So warm air is rising up, and it is creating what? It is hitting the atmosphere above. This condition is called greenhouse effect. I think you are not getting me, no? This is
We are with
sun.
you.
You all are with me? You are getting my points? This is
Yeah,
sun.
we are
Yes.
getting your points. You can
Okay,
go ahead.
thank you. Okay, okay. You're not responding, so I'm just confused whether I can make you people understand or not. Now, what are the other factors? So basically, this is the first factor, that atmosphere, contaminated atmosphere is one of the reasons. Now, what are the other factors of global warming? Melting of ice. When it is, the temperature is high, it will actually affect the other tropical. It will actually affect the other topographic scenarios also. So the glaciers, the mountain caps, they will all start melting. When they will start melting, what will happen? Water will come down. They will melt into water. This water will come down, and where will they accumulate? They will add into the lakes, the oceans, into the seas, right? Right. Now, this water, when they are coming to the sea, the oceans, etc., they will lead into the change in levels of the water. If it is river, the water level of the river will rise. If it is in the sea, the water level in the sea will rise. If it is in the ocean, the water level in the ocean will also rise. Agreed with this point of mine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Now, together with this, if deforestation takes place, one is heat, which is hampering everything. Another, deforestation is a burning issue because more and more population is leading into more and more urbanization. So where from you will get this more space for urbanization? You will cut down trees. You will demolish forests. So this is leading to deforestation, and this actually is disbalancing the Earth's atmosphere. So we get extreme weather events, right? So rise in temperature is giving rise to what type of devastations? Drought, heat waves, lowering in temperature giving rise to cold waves, epidemics, and melting of ice, melting of glaciers, which is actually in turn giving rise to the rise in sea level, river level, is causing a situation called flood.
Flood.
Agreed? Agreed?
Yes.
Now, how it is affecting us? Disappearing glaciers, anybody can read. Early snowmelt and severe droughts will cause more dramatic water shortages and continue to increase the risk of wildfires in the American West. Don't count it as American West. You just say it will actually lead to water scarcity and uh, wildfires also. So, have anybody taught you about wildfires in understanding disasters? What are wildfires and how does they occur? Okay, we'll discuss it next. Now, rising sea level, as I just discussed, even more, it will lead to coastal flooding. Forests, farms, and cities will also face troublesomes like heat waves, heavy downpours, and increased flooding. We have already discussed on this issue. How it is going to affect life in these various points. It is going to affect life ecosystem. We will have a disbalanced ecosystem, unnecessary drought out of no reason, uh, pest invasions, locusts. Because you know, I'll just show you one photo of locust disturbance in part of, yes, see, it is in Kenya as a result of climate change. What is locust? It is a type of fly. It is a type of fly which affected the entire Kenya, and it actually feed on the vegetables, means the agricultural food crops, and it has rise. It has rose devastating impact on the food crops. These type of things occur as a result of, see, this is a picture of coastal flooding. Can you see this? This is coastal flooding. See, this has resulted into urban floods. This is an urban area. It is in the vicinity of coast. This has led to urban flooding or flash flooding, but this has occurred as a result of sea level rise only. I have accumulated so many data to share with you, but I'm not. I won't be sharing all this. But this sometimes their repetition, some R&D I have also tried to make. The ecosystem I told you, species I described in terms of locust. There many birds may die, extinct as a result of global warming and all this thing. Food and farming. Food and farming means severe drought may lead to uh, destruction of agricultural stocks. Livestock as well. Livestock will also be hampered, and farming, dairy farming, and these things will also be slowed down as a result of global warming and all. Scarcity of water, reduced rainfall, and increasingly severe droughts may lead to water storages. Coastal erosion. Coastal erosion. When do we find coastal erosion? Rising sea level. You know what is the reason behind a rise in sea level? An intense storm. This results in erosion of the coastal banks. Okay, and as a result of this, floods in the coastal areas occur very frequently and resulting in devastation in the coastal areas. The health part also we have discussed, leads to illness, even death. Uh, and what George mentioned in the initial part, here we have to be very careful, not only in case of the vulnerable group, but to the poor people, in particular those who are living in uh, exposed areas like footpaths, pavements, in urban areas and in rural areas also, because they hardly uh, only trees can save them from the scorching heat, and they don't have AC and all these things, these leisures, which can provide them some relaxation, provide them some comfort uh, to save themselves from the extreme temperatures. Now, damage to homes. So damage to homes because of bushfires, also somebody mentioned in the beginning of the class. Storms, floods, cyclones, these all may destroy their home as well. And coral bleaching. What is coral bleaching? Rising temperature actually leads to acidity in the ocean, and this actually affects the coral reefs. Coral reef, the coral is a particular species found underneath oceans. This coral, their life are also uh, threatened as a result of global warming. Are you people there or no?
We are listening to you.
Yeah, we are with you, doctor.
Okay. Now, greenhouse effect, climate change, and global warming. We are here. I'll be correlating these factors basically. Um, Someone just can read if you want to. George, will you read? Acha, no need of reading because we are hardly having 15 minutes. Let me just push
Yeah.
back.
So
What is greenhouse gases?
you mean
Greenhouse gases. Yes, say. Say, George, say, I'm sorry. George, we are saying something. Please say.
I thought you said I should read, so it's fine.
I just want to explain. If you can explain, read and make other people understand as well.
You mean
Because this
on
I have already.
greenhouse?
Yes. Here we will be correlating these three factors. We have already discussed about what is greenhouse effect, what is climate change, and what is global warming. We have discussed in this session today, right? Now we are here to correlate them, these three factors. Read.
Greenhouse effect on the Earth is divided by the difference between the effective uh,
Radiating temperature.
reading temperatures of the planet and its surface temperature. Naturally, alkaline greenhouse gases, uh, which is called also GHGs, such as vapor, carbon dioxide, tropospheric ozone, oxides of nitrogen and methane, bring about greenhouse effect through the property that they strongly absorb the radiation emitted by the Earth in the infrared region of the spectrum.
Now
Greenhouse
tell me what
effect
did you understand?
changes the global.
Please tell me what have you understood from this. Anyone? I'm not only talking to George. Anyone can explain because this was all explained into this session. What is What are greenhouse gases? What are greenhouse gases?
Well, I think these are gases that make up the greenhouse effect. The component of all the gases are the effect.
Water vapor, carbon dioxide, ozone, nitrogen oxide, and methane.
And methane,
Okay,
yes,
methane. We are getting methane from fossil fuels. Okay. Now these are together called greenhouse gases.
yes,
Now we are getting them from where? From the atmosphere, from uh, radiations through our from emissions from our vehicles, from our day-to-day life,
yes,
whatever we are using, from fossil fuel extractions, from ozone layer depressions, nitrogen monoxide we are getting from vehicle emissions of vehicles again. So we are adding into these gases in the temperature. Now, as a result of this, that radiating heat from the earth and the heat which is already there in the atmosphere is creating a difference, and this difference is called greenhouse effect. And why is this effect created? Because of the accumulation of these greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Am I clear to all of you?
yes,
So greenhouse gases are clear, greenhouse effect is clear. Now comes to global warming. So you just relate global warming with all these things. This is in turn when you now see me. Sun. This is the Earth. Sun's heat is in the in between it is the atmosphere. Then sun's heat is coming here. Earth is absorbing some and leaving it to the ground underneath. Some is radiating back. So the thing which is radiating back, it is coming to the atmosphere in between. Atmosphere is having all these gases which we call together as greenhouse gas. It is not late. It is in the entire heat which is being radiated from the atmosphere, from the earth, and in turn it is giving the heat back, and we are getting a warmer climate than it should be, and this is called global warming. Clear? Could you correlate global effect, global warming, greenhouse effect, greenhouse gases, all three in a single note? Can you correlate them all? Can you correlate them all? Is there
Yes.
any okay. I thought there is a network issue again. George, where are you? I I I found you still. Is there any network issue over there?
No, no, I'm here. I'm listening, but I'm trying to think how it can be corrected.
No, what do you say? Could you actually correlate these three? Sun. George, I'm explaining again. This is sun. This is earth. Sun's rays coming to the earth. Some part of the heat is being absorbed by the earth. Other part is going back to the atmosphere. The atmosphere is having what? Various gases which is not into the normal composition of the atmosphere. It is adding up to the, it is maximizing the composition of atmosphere to a certain level. These things are called greenhouse gases. The gases which are adding into the composition of the normal atmospheric composition is called greenhouse gases. What effect they are giving? Greenhouse effect they are giving. And as a result of this, the atmosphere is already heavy. It has already become heavy, and it could not absorb the heat which is being radiated from the earth. And as a result of this, it is giving us the heat back, and we can experience much warmer climate. Am I clear to all of you now?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
Yes.
I understand. I
Yes, yes,
understand
Doctor.
now.
this is called global warming. So when we all now at this moment relate between greenhouse gases, greenhouse effect and global warming, what? Don't you think these things are linked with each other? These are linked with each other, yes or no? I cannot see anyone else other than George. And George is doing like this.
Can you see me, doctor?
I'm also
Yes, I can
online.
see you.
All
Yes,
of us
I
are
While
know all
while
of
online.
you, but I cannot see the facial expression
I'm
of
inside my
yours.
room, you cannot see me because it's dark and no light.
Okay.
Me,
But you
me, I'm
tell me
already on
you
the
have
car. I'm
understood yes
traveling.
or no. Can you relate all these three things?
Huh? You are representing a country, my friend.
Yeah, man, they're
No,
related.
this is
They're
a
related.
this is a
Related?
training. Ajere,
Now, we are
later.
experiencing
Not a
warm
not
temperature.
representing Ajere. I'm not representing a
This is
country.
this we call global warming. Now, as a result of global warming, what is happening? Down the
So what?
earth, sea level rise because ice caps, glaciers, they are melting. The it is resulting in the rising of the sea level, water level, ocean level, river level, causing floods. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, ma.
This is downward, and upward it is hitting up the ozone layer
Oh, affected.
and depleting it. Okay, and depleting it. So everything is concentrated in the greenhouse gases, which is actually
So,
causing global warming, and all these things are resulting as a result of this. So which one is the threat? Greenhouse gases are the threat. So we
so
have to
this,
arrest them.
so
Unless we'll
the effect
arrest
on
them.
the,
Yes, unless we
it means
arrest
the effect on the.
effect on.
So I mean
Unless
the
we
effect
arrest.
on the ozone layer is the one affecting the amount of the rainfall that we are having now.
Yes, one of the chlorofluoro carbons, they are coming down, which is actually hitting the ozone layer. We are coming to that part too. But but what I want to make you all understand, each and everything is linked together, and this is actually resulting in climate change.
The deflection of this other layer is it affects the climate change. That is what you mean.
Yes, but why it is happening? That
Okay.
source you have to identify, na? That I was wanting to try to explain you all. Okay, George, you carry on, then we will again see. Greenhouse effect changes the global energy balance. You see, start from here.
Greenhouse effect changes the global energy balance, which would otherwise have been without the presence of these gases. This keeps the global average temperature warm and makes it possible for all kinds of life to thrive on the earth. Humidity, such as industrialization, intensive agriculture, excessive use of fossil fuel, etc., are disturbing the composition of natural greenhouse gases, as several anthropogenic gases like CO, that's carbon oxide, CO6, chlorofluorocarbons, are being
Yes,
added to the atmosphere, acting, I can't read there,
which is beginning
increasing
to make an impact in
can
terms of climate.
impact in terms of climate change. The present
This
rate
only I have.
of warming, yes, ma'am?
Actually, this I was explaining to all of you, but I have already explained. Now, going through this
Yes.
text, just tell me whether the concept is clear to all of you or not, because these all are interrelated. See,
Yes.
now what is the present threat of warming?
The present threat of warming of the surface temperature of the Earth is resulting from the increase of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. It has
So,
been
who is
under
the main
study.
culprit? George, please.
Yes,
Who is the
ma'am.
main culprit? Who is the main culprit? Who is the main culprit? Who is
It's
We
it?
human
man.
beings.
It's man-made issue.
Huh?
It's
Who
man-made
is the
problems. Like that's
no, no, no? Who is the villain over here? Because behind this climate change, global warming, who is the villain?
the
Who is
human
the main
race.
accused?
The human race are to
Greenhouse
blame.
gases. Greenhouse gases. Now, what
Oh,
are the causes behind
okay.
these greenhouse gases? That will come afterwards. Okay. So the main villain is greenhouse gases. Okay. Now, climate change is direct consequences of unstable. Tombe, you read.
Should I read?
Yes, please.
Okay. Climate change is a direct consequence of and sustainable consumption driven by energy intensive production and consumption system, including the embedded use of fossil fuels. I think you explained about this clearly.
Yes.
Increasing concentrations of greenhouse gases has already resulted in global warming by zero point 0.6 is that Celsius in the
Celsius.
last one in the last 100 years, and that increase in average global temperature by 1.5 to 53 degrees Celsius by the end of 21st century, as per different scenarios of GHG emission. Sea level has
Greenhouse gases
risen.
emission. One second, one second. GHG means greenhouse gases.
Greenhouse
Just think,
gases.
just think of the range 1.5 to 53. Can you just imagine the range they are talking about? It's a huge one. And when we are on the verge of this threat, it has already knocked our door. 21st century they are talking about. Now sea level has sea level. Hello, who was reading?
Yes,
Please continue.
Yes, ma.
let me read for us. And then sea
Okay.
level has risen by 10 to 20 centimeter in 20th century, and will further rise in 2021 century by even higher magnitude of 50 to 88 centimeter by the end of 2000,
Right?
2100. This is
Means
the first bullet.
21st century they are talking about. Just see, in 100 years, in a gap of 100 years, how much sea level has increased. It was initially 10 to 20 centimeter. 10 centimeter means a small geometric scale which we usually use in our school, right? 10 centimeter
Yes.
scale, 20 centimeter
Yes,
scale. This
very small
was
thing.
very small variation. This hardly could affect uh, any change in the in the global sea rise sea level rise or anywhere. But now this has in 100 years gap, sorry, because of this global warming, this has increased from 50 to 88 centimeter. So a devastation is going to happen. Then manifestation of
This is a manifestation of climate change on regional scales. Remain gray area with several uncertainties. Hello.
hello.
Yes. The second one is on a polar temperature, whereas more than tropical temperature, a regional difference will be also present at warnings and will not be uniforms globally.
Definitely, because some places are very close to the poles. Some are in the temperate. Some are situated in the temperate area. Some are situated in the tropical area. Some are on the equators, right? So it will vary from the topology among the topology of the uh, yeah, place. Yes, sir. There would be direct and indirect sectoral impacts on different sectors on human activity as anthropogenic. What is anthropogenic? Man-made. Okay, then climate change emerges in the next 20 years beyond unless the emission of GHG is controlled on a global scale. So now this GHG, controlling of GHG is the biggest threat actually in mankind. So unless it is controlled, and this can't be controlled in an individual level, so this has to be controlled universally through uh, imposition of policies, government policies, through imposition of laws, and by the administrative bodies, by uh, international agencies and national and international NGOs as well, because this actually has become a biggest threat in living world, which is affecting entire ecosystem, which is affecting human life, which is affecting animal life, and uh, our agricultural products also, and that is why it is called a disaster. It has been counted under the head of disaster. Okay. Now, there are some barriers to effective adaptation and mitigation strategies on global and regional scales due to specific uncertainties. See, we all know from Darwinian theory that survival of the fittest. Have you heard of this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This the greatest scientist Darwin told this thing: survival of the fittest. If if we have the ability to withstand 8 to 10 heat wave in a particular year, then only we will be alive. Then will be we won't be ill, and there will be high chance of our survival. So, and those who cannot withstand this change in climate, not only I'm talking about human, it may be animal, it may be uh, any particular agricultural species, crop species. If they are not in a position to withstand this adverse climatic condition, it will come to it will become extinct. So effective adaptation. And so this is called adaptation. We are adapting ourselves so that we can survive in this adverse condition. And what are the adaptation? I have already explained some in case of heat waves. Like we won't go out of the house. We will take more fluid intake. We'll cover ourselves. So these are types of adaptations. And mitigation is, once we get alarm from meteorological department, we will aware each and every people of the community about the alarming situation which is going to attack our community, and uh, and what will be the steps so that we can save ourselves and resist the ill effects of this heat wave. So this is not as an example, as one of the examples of heat waves I have given. Heat wave is one of the examples which I have explained with all of you, but this will be in case of other things as well. Now, absence of sufficient information base. If you don't get any information from the meteorological department, will you take adequate mitigation steps? No.
No.
So adaptation or mitigation starts, rather preparation we will say, starts from the mitigation, from the awareness situation, information, uh, from providing information only. So this is very important to track down what is going on, how it is, what, how, and up to what extreme it can move, and what impact it is going to create on human life, mane living world. So absence of sufficient information base, inadequate science and technology inputs for policy formulation, lack of trained manpower. Why do we need trained manpower? See, you people of 15 learners in a one single under one single platform are getting yourself aware of the situation which may occur when any unforeseen situation uh, like these traits occur in your continent. Okay, so if sorry, so if I say that you people are trained manpower, am I wrong?
Right, Mama.
Am I, I'm not wrong, no? So you are now aware of the nooks and corners, pros and cons of the adverse climatic effects. What are they? How are they affecting living world? You are now trained, and what you have to do. You are not trained on this. Now, how you can help the department? How you can help the government? You can frame policy, draft plans. You can take steps to improve your science and technology inputs. Okay, so inadequate coordination mechanism and resistance to some countries with high per capita emission to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions by uh, becoming partners in international protocols of climate change also add flavor to it. Several, several policies so that we can ultimately build a better life to the people of the continent is our basic motto. So we have, for that we have to take various steps. We have to adopt various steps, and we have to study so that we can acquire more and more knowledge into this. And coordination, why coordination is required? See, Here I am working as a coordinator. I'm providing you some information. Even you can also provide me information. I don't know many things about many topics, or about your continent, or about the mitigation processes. Same time, you can adapt many things which India has already adapted for the betterment of the mankind. So understand until you communicate while also delivering service. If you don't communicate among yourselves, it won't be possible for you to track every every point and deliver and function accordingly. Shall we stop today?
Um, we can continue till tomorrow. We don't have any problem.
We can continue.
Okay,
I
okay.
think it
We
is
will
enough for
continue.
today.
We can continue.
George, are you
but
speaking?
Enough
but
for
I
today.
think
Because it
but
it
I think
was
we need to rest.
Yeah, we can continue tomorrow.
okay. We will continue it tomorrow. But uh, I found this thing very interesting. What do you say?
It is actually very
Very good.
interesting.
We're enjoying it.
Because this is really a threat, you know.
Yeah, it
Adamu,
is.
where have you been?
Ma'am, I
Yes, yes,
just want
George.
to ask you on what can you explain on what is happening in Joshima town in Himalaya, where the town is sinking. Um, what I know it's a disaster, and I don't know what can be the cause if we come to what we in line of what we are learning, not necessarily related to what we're learning today, but in terms of the causes of such a situation whereby a town is sinking uh, as time goes.
Now, are you asking this for Himalaya in particular?
Yeah, yeah, in particular, but also I know it can also happen in other places.
Yes. Last day you missed my class. I understood. You didn't went through plate tectonics. Okay, see. Entire universe is covered by plates. Can you see this? This is the globe. This is the universe. Now it is covered with plates. Okay.
Mhm.
Now there are many features. These are the plates. This is the universe. It is there are many features. Oceans are there, valleys are there, mountains are there, right?
Yes.
Mainly if we look into our globe, the model of the globe, we will find two colors. One is blue, which is signifying the ocean. One is green, which is signifying the continents, right? So let us think it in terms of oceans and continents. Now oceans are oceans, blue water bodies. Continents, they have mountains, they have deserts, they have valleys, they have plateaus, right? These are the various topographic features. Now, this is a part of the universe. Just follow my hand. This plate is your Himalaya, the question which you asked me. And these two hands which are moving, these are the two plates. Till today, these two plates are here. Now, these plates are mobile in nature and they keep on moving. If they move like this, entire Himalaya will move like this, right? But if they move apart, what will happen? Till the time Himalaya or any mountain, it may be Alps, it may be any mountain body, mountainous body, till the part, till the time the part is on the plate, it will be there. Stand still. When the part is moving apart, when the plates are moving apart, what will happen? The plate will, what happened? Sink.
Sink, yeah.
So the Himalaya will go down, vanish. I tell you one thing, when art formed, it was called Pangea. Pangea, everything was aligned. There were no continents, Africa, Asia, Europe, there were nothing like that. One Pangea was there, and the Tethys Sea was there. And now there is no Tethys. It broke, and these continents formed, and Tethys was separated, and it became Bay of Bengal, Atlantic Ocean, Arctic Oceans came into existence. So instead of, there are three types of plate movements. The plate may move apart like this, then the mountain will sink down. The plate may move like this, one side up, one side down. Then the part which is weaker will go down and the stronger part will go up. Similar thing may come like this, or the plate, sorry, or the plates may come close together. In that case, Himalaya will fold much more. This is Himalaya. This will become like this. Clear? So it all because of the plate tectonic movements, plate movements, that the topology changes. And this only gives rise to earthquake and all this physical features. George, clear?
Yeah,
Very
yeah, yeah.
clear.
Very clear.
Very clear, madam.
Francis, clear?
Yes, very clear. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
So shall we leave?
Yeah,
Leave for today?
sure.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
yes.
I think today
Bye
is
bye
enough.
everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye
Can I see
bye.
all of you under one platform? I can only see George and Adamu.
I say I'm inside
Thank you,
my room.
Doctor, for the
There's no light.
presentation. So tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow.
Okay, see you. Thank you so much, madam.
Yeah, thank you
Tomorrow.
so much for the
Yes,
question.
Francis. Thank you.
Thank you for my presentation.
This is the second time I'm
Yes.
hearing a voice of a lady in the house. Whoa.
I'm sorry. And it's gender sensitive. It's like on this program.
This is the second time I'm hearing voice of a lady in
What
the
have
house.
you been doing so
This is
long?
my first
I
time
could
to
not
hear.
I've been on, but I don't interrupt. Thank you so much.
You don't contribute.
Okay, but you have gone through the lesson now?
See you, Joan. Most of the time, you come in.
Okay, good.
My
I
camera.
enjoyed the lessons. Thank you so
Okay.
much,
Thank you
guys.
so much. Enjoy
Thank
the
you,
day.
doctor.
Enjoy
Thank you
your
very
day.
much. Thank
Okay.
you.
I'll
We
turn
really
Bye-bye.
on
appreciate
my
it.
camera tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, I'll see you
Okay.
tomorrow.
All right,
Bye-bye.
see you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye bye.
Joan, we're waiting for
Bye-bye.
you. Joan.
Please
Yes,
let me turn it on tomorrow.
Okay. It
No,
will be
today.
good.
Want to see you today.
I'll contribute tomorrow.
No, today.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Okay, Francis, George, bye.
Bye,
You guys
bye.
cannot see me because you cannot see me. I'm inside my room. No light.
Okay, Nigerian Factor, right? You
I'm
don't
inside
have
my room.
like
Light.
Nigerian Factor.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
In Jigawa State.
There was so much energy
No,
today.
you Adam, your side, don't, it is your side that consume all our light. Is it
No, we are also
Adamawa?
bottling. You know, they connected Maiduguri back to the national grid. So we are like
I
shifting now
guess.
with them.
Okay, bye bye. Meet you
Thank
tomorrow.
you,
Bye.
doctor. See you
Thank
tomorrow.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Mm. Sorry.